Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining today's session. Tell us where you're all from. We're very, very excited to have you here. We have a list of speakers joining us who I'm sure all of you are going to be very, very excited to hear from. Just a few housekeeping tasks before we go ahead. Certificates will be administered to you at the end of the session, and we'll give you steps for how you can take part in the challenge, which will also be announced at the end. And the way the session will essentially work is we've got a bunch of speakers from a bunch of our partner institutions. So we've got Mike from Microsoft, we've got someone from Canva, Google, Flipgrid, and Adobe. And essentially we'll have a wheel that will randomly pick one of the speakers who will come on and then talk to you about some of the integrations that we have on board and how you can make the most of our platform and our partner integrations. So let's start off. So let's see who we have coming up first. I'm pretty excited for this one. So yeah, let's get the wheel spinning. So we have Mike Tolson on first. And I don't think Mike really needs much of an introduction. He's Group Product Manager at Microsoft. He's helped us develop most of our integrations with the Microsoft platform. Yeah, super excited to have you on here, Mike, and thanks for joining us. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tejas. And it's great to be here virtually for EdTech Alchemy. And I'm going to be talking through a set of Wakelet and Microsoft integrations. There's actually a bunch of them. There's Teams integration, Immersive Reader integration, and OneNote embed. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just flip right over into Wakelet, and I'm going to show how this works. And I'll add, so for those of you that have not used Teams before, Teams is our free education solution that works on any platform, works in web, PC, Mac, iOS, and it's available and being used by millions and millions of educators today. And hopefully some folks on this call are using it. Now, the first most simple one that we have is the ability to share a Wakelet into Teams. So in Teams, we have things like channels and teams, kind of Slack-like. So if I go in the upper right in Wakelet here, and I've got a Teams option, what I'll do is we'll pull this up, and it's going to share this Wakelet into Teams. And so I'll be able to pick from, I can share it to a person, a group, or a channel. I can even create a new assignment. So in this case, maybe I want to create an assignment automatically, choose a class, give it a title, give it instructions. And so all of these things are built right into this share to Teams. Check out my Wakelet. And I'm going to choose a class here. We'll put in physical science, and then I can hit assign. And so what this does is this actually just puts that Wakelet right into my class. And in this case, I chose an assignment. So when I go into Teams here in my assignment list, if I go back out to physical science, that's going to pop up, and I'll have, oh, there it is, the physical science. Check out my Wakelet. So I just got a notification, and I have my Wakelet assignment. I'm signed in as the teacher, but the same thing works as a student. And so that's a very nice integration that's been around for a couple of years now. The other one that we recently added is the ability to create assignments in Teams and add Wakelet as an app type. So at the bottom, I might choose create assignment, and I'm going to have, we'll make this one another Wakelet assignment because we love Wakelet. And so I can give my instructions on that assignment. And instead of attaching a resource, I'm going to attach an app. So right here in Teams assignments, you can add apps. And of course, one of the very first apps that Teams integrated was a Wakelet app. So I can choose an app here, and I can add the Wakelet URL. I've got one right here, and I'll just hit save. This has become a OneNote Ninja. That's one of my favorite Wakelets. So you can see we've added that Wakelet collection right here. If I click it, it'll open it up, and it will render this amazing OneNote Ninja PD Wakelet. So that's thing number two. The third integration type we have is the ability, and again, this is in Teams. There's actually 3 different Teams integrations for Wakelet. So if I go into my language arts class Teams also has this concept of being able to pin different tabs across the top. So I have files, videos, a home page, and I can add pinned apps in my channel. So, there's a general channel, book club, class check-ins. But in my general channel, I'm going to go up in here and hit plus. And again, what we're going to have is the ability to add a Wakelet directly into this channel. So again, you can see, hey, there's Wakelet. And so if I want to pin a Wakelet to my class so people always have access to it, very easy to do. It's kind of similar like in the assignment. All you do is paste your Wakelet URL. And we'll use my good old OneNote Wakelet again and hit save. And now it's going to set up this tab right here in my class team. So that's my, hey, there's my OneNote Ninja Wakelet is pinned right here in Teams. So if I have things like posts, I'm putting posts in my class, I might have files, assignments. It also tells the class, hey, your teacher added a tab at the top of this channel, the Wakelet tab. They can click this and launch it as well. So those are 3 things in Teams that we've integrated with Wakelet. Now, the next one I'm going to show is, well, I probably can't say it's my favorite because, all of our children are beautifully equal, but I really do like the immersive reader integration with Wakelet that we did. So I've got my collection here, reading progress. This is a tool that we worked on. And if you hover here, you're going to see this little immersive reader button, which will take this text right here into the immersive reader. But also we actually have even better, I can go and say, go into read mode. And so if I hover, right here, this is a blog that I put in, and maybe I want to get some assistance with reading. I hit the 3-dot menu and I choose read mode. And this brings up, I can go into the immersive reader. So I'm going to click at the top immersive reader. And this is our special immersive reader mode. And I just realized I need to share my audio, which I didn't do. I'm a bad demoer. Let me go and stop sharing and reshare so I get my audio in here. So 1 second. Let me share again and share my screen and share my system audio, because you really do need to hear audio on this one. It's pretty awesome when you hear the immersive reader with full-on read aloud audio. So what immersive reader is, it takes the latest science and research around reading, and we focused initially on dyslexia, but we have a bunch of tools that are built into this reader. So for example, if I want to read this out loud, I just hit play.
Reading progress in Microsoft Teams
has helped educators check reading fluency.
So that's really nice. And I can change the voice speed, faster or slower, male or female voice. I can change the way the background looks. So maybe I want to have a dark background or a blue background or a yellow background. It's really easy for me as a student to customize this in a way that works best for me. Maybe I want to make the fonts really big. That's called short line mode. It's nice for accessibility. I've got increased spacing here. So for visual crowding, normal text might look like this, but we increase spacing for visual crowding. That can, for some people, help with reading speed, focus, and comprehension, because that visual crowding is stretched out a little bit. We even have things, if you go to grammar options, break words into syllables. I can highlight all the nouns on the page, or the verbs, or the adjectives. So we highlight parts of speech really easy. Now, the thing that we've heard from a lot of Wakelet customers, including students, teachers, and parents, is their favorite thing is the translation. So I'll go to reading preference. I can do things like line focus. So we call this line focus, where I just want to focus on a couple lines at once. This is really nice in terms of being able to focus the eyes, but translate is really powerful. And so we have over 116 languages that you can translate in. So maybe you had a newsletter and you want to have your parents be able to translate that into their native language. I'll choose Spanish in this case, and I'll choose document. So now the entire page translates, even the read aloud. So now I'll go and hit play. Let's hit play maybe right here.
Educadores a verificar la fluidez de lectura con más frecuencia y, por lo tanto,
so really high quality reading aloud voice. I can go Spanish. I can go back to original. I can flip. I can even highlight, if I want to highlight all of the syllables and nouns in Spanish, that's not a problem. And we've just rolled out even more recent languages. We have Ukrainian in here. We have Amharic. We've got all sorts of different languages that you can translate to and read aloud. So all of this is built into that immersive reader button right here in Wakelet Read Mode. And again, you can even go right here and hover. Maybe you just want to read this text. Maybe it's just a paragraph. If you hover and hit immersive reader, same thing, read aloud, all the things that I showed.
Aggregation of all the useful resources for.
So that's immersive reader. And the very last one I'm going to show is my, my original true love, OneNote. So I can paste any Wakelet link right into OneNote. So I'm here in OneNote, our digital binder. I'm just going to paste my good old PD collection here. Let me go get that. Second. I get a reading progress one, let's say. I actually, hold on one more second. I realized that in the OneNote desktop, the OneNote desktop is getting updated right now. And we don't support Wakelet embed in OneNote desktop. It's actually in a OneNote for the web. And so give me just a second. I'm at the last part of the demo. And let's see if I can pull up OneNote in the web really quick. And I'll show how that works. One moment. And we're pulling up OneNote, and I'll paste this into OneNote for the web. We'll put it in my physical science notebook. And maybe I'll create a new page here in my notebook. Maybe I'll just go paste it over here. So I'll go paste. And there's my Wakelet. So Wakelet renders right there on the OneNote page. And you can paste any Wakelet link. And this is fully interactive. It's sizable. You can size this bigger or smaller. You can move it all around the page. So you can make collections of Wakelets. They're embedded right there in OneNote. And so with that, I'm going to turn it back to figure out who the next lucky demoer is. And hopefully you had a good sense of Teams integration, immersive reader, and OneNote.
Thank you so much for that, Mike. As always, it's a pleasure watching you showcase all of our integrations. And we had a lot of great comments. I think a lot of our users who've used the integrations before, and also a lot of fans of your TikTok channel, it seems. So, which is always good to see. But thanks so much for joining us. Yeah. And yeah, let's see who's coming on next. So I think we are going to spin the wheel now and see who will be our next speaker. So I'm pretty excited for this one. But yeah, let's see what happens. So it's Anne from Flipgrid.
Hey.
Hello, Anne.
Hey, Tejas. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? It's great to have you on here today.
Hey, I'm wearing my Wakelet Community Week gear. I'm so excited to be joining you all. Hello to everybody, and thanks for asking me to be a part of this and share Flipgrid today.
No, the pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much for coming on board, and I'm sure everyone viewing right now can't wait to hear from you. So over to you, Anne. I'm not going to hold you up.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And I am so excited, friends, to share during EdTech Alchemy today. And I made a Wakelet collection for all of you. So I know that's going to be shared in the resources, but I actually thought I would present from Wakelet today. So as I cruise down, you see so many incredible resources. And I want to start over here with the breaking news. I think you must have seen yesterday this epic update to how Flipgrid and Wakelet work so well in tandem to share, showcase, and celebrate your thinking, your learning, your lifelong adventures. So if you aren't hip to that news, it was brand new yesterday, and Wakelet shared that on the epic kickoff. But today, I want to share a little greeting. My greeting, hello from California. I am tuning in live, but I want to talk about two of my favorite tools. Of course, Flipgrid, and of course, Wakelet. And today, what I want to focus on is how you can use them together to celebrate learning around the world. You might be a little bit familiar with both tools, or you might be an expert in both tools. But if you are brand new to Flipgrid, I want to take a moment and say this. We are a completely free video communication platform from Microsoft, and we are on a mission to empower every person on the planet to share their voice and respect the diverse voices of others. And one of the incredible things that we have the privilege of sharing is what we call Flipgrid Live events. And I'm actually going to click on this resource and launch it. And if you scroll down, you will notice an incredible opportunity to bring authors, experts, any kind of incredible organization making their content, their ideas, conversations available to you. So these are all free events to spark meaningful discussions from incredible partners. So I'm going to do a quick cruise through and then go right back to that collection and show you why I'm talking about Flipgrid Live events and Wakelet in this EdTech Alchemy session. Of course, during the month of June and all 365 days of the year, we can celebrate pride and learn from each other. You might want to bring the outside world into your classroom and visit and do some shark science or investigations or explore the lost forest. Maybe you recently went underwater with us in California state parks or to the top of Mount Everest. Friends, we are exploring space. We are exploring everything. And you have the opportunity to leverage these events in your community. But not only that, if we think about how we could leverage Flipgrid and Wakelet together during Flipgrid Live events, let's take a moment and consider some of these things. As educators, I know you're all focused on not only what it means to be a lifelong learner yourself, but be a leader, a citizen, or model global citizenship to your community. Be an analyst or a learning facilitator, a celebration facilitator, a facilitator of all the things that happen in your learning community and beyond. Designing learning experiences or collaborating around the world. I know one of the things we are all striving to do is positively contribute and help others get a sense of what it means to responsibly participate in something, especially as we are all so connected in digital communities around the world. But I love that Flipgrid Live events and Wakelet can partner so well to create experiences. So why Wakelet and why Flipgrid Live events and why at the same time? Maybe you saw this little update yesterday. Visual thinking, anybody? That was my quick little sketch note from my phone last night. I'm a visual thinker. I love to document. I love to reflect during the process. So maybe you're joining a Flipgrid Live event and maybe you're using Wakelet as a back channel or a place to source Q&A or curate and share resources or do an artifact find. Perhaps you want to sketch note or doodle or let your students visually respond to whatever it is they're taking in during the event. Of course, I'm going to share these words one more time. Share, showcase, and celebrate. And that's what I love so much about Flipgrid, but it's also one incredible way you can combine Flipgrid Live events and the power of a Wakelet collection for unique collaboration, response activities, or even documenting a year-long adventure of events. Now, I want to take a moment in this session and share a few resources that I've added. So not only can you link to those Flipgrid Live events page, but why? Why? Of course, that is because we are all of these things and so much more. Leaders, learners, citizens, and let's take a moment and talk about creating experiences, making positive, socially responsible contributions, and exhibit empathetic behavior that builds relationships and community. And if I know one thing about Wakelet Community Week and the Flipgrid for All community is that we all truly believe we are better together. So what a brilliant way to support learners and resources. I'm going to come right back into my collection and launch it one more time. Friends, I'm going to keep cruising down this because I know this time is going fast. Here we go. Page, load for me. Send your magic. Why isn't this loading? But that's okay. I'm going to refresh. Friends, in that collection, when we share the resources, you have access to all of this information. And as I come back and these items load up, what you're going to see are resources to support educators, but also some incredible insights to support your students. How many of you have talked at all about SEL or social emotional learning this year? Inside Flipgrid in the Discovery Library, we have a database of ready-to-use resources, and that Wakelet collection will link you right here to the Flipgrid Discovery Library. But as I scroll down a teeny tiny bit, I want to show you this collection, and what you can focus on right here is social and emotional learning. So maybe as you're curating experiences through Flipgrid Live events and growing and connecting and responding in your community, these are all ready-to-use resources for you that you can take and grab right away. I love this example about emojis and me. So maybe you're getting all emotional and you want to respond in your Flipgrid response, talking about how the learning adventure is going, your takeaways, your aha moments, anything. And imagine that Wakelet collection filling up with incredible Flipgrid videos. Now, we did share a few things, and I'm going through a ton of stuff fast because this EdTech Alchemy is a mix of so much goodness and so much magic. But remember, don't worry, it is all here in the collection for you. Tons of ideas, tons of responses, and of course, shortcuts to all of the resources. Now, I can't do a presentation without shouting out the incredible community. So I'm inspired every day by the Wakelet wave, global educators around the world, and it's so fun to participate in Wakelet Community Week, sharing a tool that I love and sharing a resource with Flipgrid Live events that I absolutely love and obsessed with. But folks like Nikki Jones and Dr. Randall Sampson and, oh my gosh, my good friend Carrie Ann in South Africa, folks are sharing incredible ideas around the world. So I want to suggest, if you're not connected, get connected on community. And of course, remind you that we're here to help. Now, why? Why talk about these things? Why talk about Flipgrid Live events again? And of course, why Wakelet? Well, all of the rich, incredible supports, resources, ideas to empower, to transform. And when we think about what we are trying to do as educators to support our young students and learners of all ages around the world as empowered learners, as digital citizens, knowledge constructors, innovative designers, computational thinkers, creative communicators, and what we're doing right now, globally collaborating together. Friends, it is all here for you in this incredible collection. And definitely feel free to explore some of these resources. Of course, you know, I'm going to point out what Mike Tholfsen just shared with that incredible, immersive reader, fully embedded throughout. Definitely check it out if you need supports or anything digging into these resources. But as I wrap up my 10 minutes talking, I hope I've given you a spark of new ideas, the ways that you can get connected to the world. You can bring the outside world into your classroom, your learning community, or beyond. Goodness gracious, I'm still going so fast, but I raced through so much. And Tejas, I know my time is up, so I just want to end simply. I love seeing the incredible things you're doing every day. The Wakelet community and the Flipgrid community, you inspire us every day. So if we're not yet connected, please get connected. We're always better together. Happy Wakelet Community Week, everybody.
Thank you so much, Anne. The energy you bring to this section is very, very infectious. Yeah, and we are so glad to have you here. And all the points you made were so relevant. I'm sure there's a bunch of educators watching now who really connect with what you just said. I'm sure they will connect after the session as well.
Awesome. Well, I'll drop the link in the chat. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
See you. So now we're going to go to the wheel again and see who's going to come on next. I'm really excited for this one. So Marcus, he is going to now get the wheel going, essentially. So next up, we have Clara from Adobe. This is exciting. Hey, Clara.
Hey, Tejas, how's it going?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm doing well. It's hard to go after Anne. She has the best energy of anyone I've ever met in education. But I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here for Wakelet Community Week and following that Wakelet wave. Looking forward to sharing how we can collaborate.
Awesome. No, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to what you have to show us. Over to you.
Perfect. Well, I'll go ahead and share my screen now. And I know just for a second here, I'm going to get a memento effect as I'm sharing my entire window. So bear with me. Perfect. So you should be able to see my screen. So Tejas, feel free to interrupt me if there's any issues here as I'm going through different tabs. But it's nice to see everybody. I'm Clara, and I lead our educator community programs here at Adobe for Education. So a lot of the work that I do.
Clara, sorry to stop you. I don't think we're able to see your screen. Could you share your screen?
Perfect. Let me try one more time here. Hopefully we're good here. And let's see there. Are we able to share?
I am just going to check. For some reason, we're not able to view it. Is it?
I can also, let's see, window. And I'm clicking StreamYard and then share. Oh, I think there's some. Here. That's the joy of doing this live, right? I just did a stream the other day and it was no problem.
It's just luck on the day with the demo gods.
Of course, right? And I'm sure educators can completely
I think all of us can completely relate with what you're going through.
So is
I
this
think we've
one working?
got you now.
Okay, so it looks like I can share individual tabs. I will just toggle in between because I have about 5 tabs open that I want to share with you today. So thank you so much for bearing with me and Tejas for helping me troubleshoot this. But as I mentioned, not to lose momentum, I am Clara. I manage our educator community programs here at Adobe and am very excited to be here during Wakelet Community Week. And as Anne mentioned, we are better together. So I'm looking forward to seeing how we can connect with one another, learn with one another in the global learning community. And so my work at Adobe is really focused on virtual and in-person educator-driven professional development opportunities. And a lot of my work at Adobe, I'm a former classroom teacher. I taught middle school in the San Francisco Bay Area. And a lot of the work that I focus on at Adobe is connecting educators to the tools that we're building to make sure that they resonate with students and teachers. And the second, and my favorite part of this job, is shining a light on the work that each and every one of you do. So if educators are doing some really creative projects, we can feature them on our social media channels, feature them at conferences, and really make you the rock stars that you are, to be acknowledged and appreciated for everything that you do. So here at Adobe on the education team, our vision and mission is creativity for all, and more specifically to nurture and empower the next generation of lifelong creators. So just a little bit of background here. Our programs that we offer are primarily under the Adobe Creative Educator program. And here, this is a program for educators in any subject area or grade level. So if you are interested in learning more about creating your own graphics or videos at any level, even if you've never done it before, this is the community for you. So this page, I'll go ahead and post it in the chat and won't spend too much time on this, but we do a lot with the Wakelet community. So we encourage you to check this out. You can earn a level 1 and a level 2 badge and connect with educators from all around the globe. So you'll find resources in here and perhaps some familiar faces in our advisory board of our creativity crew and our global conversation with #AdobeEduCreative. So I'll go ahead and post this in the chat, and Tejas and the incredible team can go ahead and share that link for me. But I'm actually going to go ahead and stop sharing and go to my second tab. So please bear with me as I'm sharing individual tabs here in Chrome. But this here is Adobe Express. So a lot of the work that we do on the community team is focused on, again, empowering students and educators to become creators. And sometimes we hear this myth that creativity is only for the arts. Or you're born creative or you're not. And we're really trying to debunk those myths here at Adobe. So no matter what subject area you teach, it's possible to practice your creativity, to really ignite creativity in your students. And a lot of our Adobe Creative Educator course focuses on how we define creativity, what it looks like, and what can sometimes be really challenging, how you evaluate it. So that's more on the teaching and learning side, which everything is rooted in our team. And our team of 10 community leaders at Adobe are all former educators. So that is at the heart and soul of everything we do. But on a more tool-focused side, I know we wanted to share kind of how Wakelet integrates with Adobe Express and how you can access some additional resources for it. So if you haven't seen this before, this is Adobe Express. So I'll go ahead and post this link in the chat that you can access. So express.adobe.com. And here, what's incredible about Adobe Express is it really leverages all of the Creative Cloud Suite resources and brings it into something that is web-based and easy to use for students and teachers. Now, you might be familiar with Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Stock, and these are really robust tools that even professional graphic designers use. And what we're really trying to do is help students kind of learn the basics of layering and color theory and other pieces of design while helping them kind of get to that step. So you'll see just how easy it is to use. Within Express, you can create web pages, images, or videos, all with different templates in mind. So as you can see here, there's different templates that you can use. All of these come in here. And then we also have curated pages on our Adobe Education Exchange that I'll share here in a minute. But again, I encourage you to just kind of check out some of these pieces. You can kind of pick custom or specific for social media. And then we have all these quick actions that are brand new, and I'll show you how easy they are too. Whether you want to resize an image, trim a video, convert something to PDF using Adobe Document Cloud, or even remove a background. So again, encourage you to check this out, but to make it simpler, we've created a landing page that has monthly challenges. So I can't see the public, here, let's see the comments in here, but I'm curious, just like post in the comments if you have done any of our monthly challenges. I would love to kind of see and get your feedback. Oh, and I see these templates are so helpful. My littles create so quickly with them. Priscilla, I love to hear that. And then any feedback you have for the Adobe team, we'd love to kind of learn from you and see, how we can get feedback and create what's meaningful for you. But I'll stop sharing and go on to this tab really quickly. Let's see here. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I got about 5 minutes left, so I'll move here quickly. So this is our Adobe Creative Education Challenges. So every month we've been coming out with a different challenge that you can use in your classroom that has a really ready-made template that you can swap out images, graphics, text, and it all incorporates Adobe Stock. So all of those images within Adobe Stock are already licensed. They're safe and free to use, age appropriate, and you don't have to worry about licensing. So if you go to this, I actually just opened up a new tab that has, if I click on here, our summer remixable template that we have for this month. I'll go ahead and share that tab here. There we go, got that up. And you'll see it automatically brings you to this template that is already created. So you can easily replace images, swap out backgrounds. So I'll show you how easy this is if I just upload a photo, or I can pick from Adobe Stock. And here I have this picture here of my headshot, and automatically wait for the Adobe magic to take place. And drum roll. There it is. So you can see it's really easy for your students to be able to swap these out. You can move it around. And then what I love about this too is it introduces the concept of layering. So if a student, this is in any professional grade tools. So if students then later on become graphic designers and use Photoshop, they understand the basics of layers and how it works in graphic design. So even here, like you can swap this out. So I'm clicking on this volleyball player here. And if I want to replace this image, I can even search for different images here. So one of the things I really want to do this summer is be able to go to the beach, get some sunshine, and look at all of these icons that come up with the beach. I can swap that in. And so it's really easy to be able to do this. And there's a huge library of anything students choose. So when I'm ready to share this, and I won't go through everything for sake of time, you can download it as a PNG, a JPEG, or a PDF, or you can share it as this is sharing. You can publish it. You can even get it in the mobile app in a QR code, and you can actually post directly or have a link here. So now what I want to show you really quickly also is how you can bring this into Wakelet. I'm loving the comments here. Oh, Kamal, nice to see you. Awesome. Chelsea, layering basics, absolutely perfect for media, yearbook classes, and monthly challenges. Sasha have helped get out of the comfort zone with Sophie. So these are all really great pieces of feedback. Again, I'll post my email in the chat if you have any other feedback of future challenges. So again, this is a way that you can just get a link to your graphic, but what's even cooler, and what I wanted to show you here, let's see, I'll stop sharing this and go to my other tab, but please bear with me as I'm doing this. So Chrome tab, and I am going to go actually directly to my Wakelet here. And it's really easy to be able to embed this within directly from Creative Cloud. So you can either upload it as an image after you download your Adobe Express image, or as you can see here, hopefully you can see my screen. I'm just gonna bring that down a little. You can see this, you can upload directly from Twitter, Google Drive, YouTube, and Creative Cloud Express. So we have a direct integration into Wakelet that you can share directly from Creative Cloud Express. And so the other resources in my remaining 2 minutes that I will share with you are, first off, we have our Adobe Education Exchange. So this is our open educational resource platform. We have over 1 million teachers on this platform that you can find teaching resources, free courses, and look up any member in our community. And so actually, if you see all these teaching resources, we have a lot of partnerships with different organizations. We feature content from Khan Academy, National Geographic, Better Lesson, Common Sense Media. We featured resources, and then even Pixar in a Box. But if you click here in all resources, you can really search by different subject areas, even different tools. And actually, if I put in Wakelet, you can see there's even resources that teachers have uploaded that incorporate Adobe tools and Wakelet. So I encourage you to check those out. But this one actually walks through all of the integrations that we offer. And as you can see here, one of them is embed your Adobe Creative Cloud Express projects within a Wakelet collection. So you can see more of exactly how you do that. And then also check out some of the other resources that educators have to offer. So if I have 1 more minute left, I just wanted to do one more quick announcement. If you are interested in learning more about our community, we actually have a Adobe Education Summit coming up July 26th through 28th. I'll put this in the chat. And you're able to register. It's a completely free event. I should have mentioned as well that Everything I'm sharing here is free. We want to offer all of these pieces free to educators and students in K-12. So we'll be having different keynote speakers. I'm excited to host some of these folks like Danielle Feinberg from Pixar, Dr. Byron McClure, who is a school psychologist, and Al Thomas, who many of you might know from ISTE. But again, it's going to be a great event. We look forward to seeing you and collaborating with the Wakelet community. And with that, I think I am at time. I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen and hand it off to Tejas.
Thank you so much for showcasing all of these amazing resources and also innovative ways to use the two platforms, Clara. That was really, really nice to see. And I think from the last time we announced an integration, it was the template inside of Creative Cloud Express. So I think it'd be interesting to also see how educators make use of the Wakelet template inside of your platform and then share it into a Wakelet collection. Really excited to see everything that will come off the back of this session. And thanks again for joining us today. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
See you. And next up, I guess we won't know till Marcus spins the wheel. So let's see what the wheel brings. So we have Jess from Google. Hey, Jess, how are you doing?
Hi, Tejas. Good. How are you? I'm so excited to be here.
Likewise, we're really, really excited to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course, my pleasure. So I'm going to focus on the alchemy of Wakelet with Google Classroom. I'm going to hone in on that. And just a quick intro. I'm Jess. I'm an American living in England, working for Google for Education, covering adoption in the UK and Ireland. And don't worry if you don't have time to scan that QR code now, because we'll pop the link in the chat and you'll get all the resources that I'm sharing, as well as the deck, the slides deck I'm sharing too. So I love the title of this session and wanted to share this quote from one of my favorite books. I thought it was quite apropos. So this action I encourage you to take after the session, or if you're really ambitious, even during the session. But I have some gifts to walk you through all of the things I'm talking about so you can apply the concepts to your context and adapt as you go along at your convenience. So Google and Wakelet have quite a few integrations together, and I will showcase most of these in my examples, and of course have that Wakelet of resources to share with you, as I said, including this deck from my Google Drive. The one I'm really going to focus on, though, is Google Classroom, my favorite Google tool. And shout out to the Google Classroom users watching. Anyone out there? We have 150 million users worldwide. So really happy to see some of you here today. So in Wakelet, you can sync with Google Classroom by going to Classrooms, click Create Classroom, and after a quick single sign-on process, choose from your list of classes and options there, turning on YouTube, for example. And from there, you can create Wakelets or move them in. I'll show how to do that in just a moment. And yeah, so that is the first example we have. Then going a bit deeper into Classroom Roster Sync, you can go back and edit that classroom once you've created it and add your Google Classroom roster. Again, with a quick single sign-on process, you can see all of your students and Wakelets that they may have, if applicable. You can see I only have one student in this demo example, but you can also see your co-teachers, and you can share Wakelets to them once they're synced. And copying collections in Classroom. So once you have a Wakelet collection ready, like this one I'm using here, all about sustainability. I love the feature that allows you to copy it to multiple classrooms. And I'll show you also how you can do this within Google Classroom next. So the next couple of GIFs, I should say here, will show now how this looks like when we flip our learning over to Wakelet within Google Classroom. So there's so many integrations, cannot capture them all in this short time period, but as you see here, you can copy your own Wakelet collection link, and you can make it viewable or editable for your students or co-teachers, but you can also share someone else's Wakelet directly from the app, as you see here in this example. For the sake of time, I filled in the details of a research assignment and saved it as a draft, so I can just go in, take that link that I copied and put it in as a resource here. Sorry. And as always, I can make differentiated assignments within Google Classroom, matching the resources to the needs, interests, and abilities of a few students, or I can assign it to the entire class. And I can even assign it or schedule it to multiple classrooms. As an educator of 17 years myself, and lots of my colleagues were excited about that feature of being able to schedule to multiple classrooms. And just to clarify here, of course, Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals is free of charge for eligible institutions, but some of the exciting features shown here in my demo account, like practice sets and add-ons, are all available with the Teaching and Learning Upgrade or Workspace for Education Plus. So definitely check out the links in the Wakelet if you'd like more information on any of that. And finally, how does it look when we want to assess learning, right? Kind of bringing it full circle. Once my students have completed their work, I can go to the grade book tab or go to the marking tab, depending on where you are in the world. And I can track their progress, see what resources they've used. Perhaps if they're old enough to make Wakelet accounts, they can make Wakelets of their own, showing me what they chose to use in their research, or they can respond in the assignment with what resources they used and why. So thank you so much for your time and for coming to this concoction of Google for Education and Wakelet and all the other lovely alchemy. I hope you find these resources useful. Please do feel free to connect. And I know we've talked a lot about the educator communities. In that Wakelet link, I have a link about our lovely communities as well. We have, as you've heard, level 1, level 2, and trainer, coach, innovator. I'm a Google certified innovator, so really passionate about that community too, and encourage more people to get involved.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Jess. That was a very, very nice presentation. I think it clearly communicates some of our amazing integration points, and I'm sure for educators who've been exposed to this firsthand or never heard of our integrations, they're probably going to go back from this session and try a few of them out. So I'm very excited to see what comes off the back of this and how the education community will make the most of our integrations together. And can't wait to see what more we have coming in the future.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for joining us, Jess. Okay, and I think we've got one last speaker left, but for the sake of it, and because everyone else had the wheel spun, I think we should still spin the wheel. So Marcus, please do the honors. I think we know who's going to come on, but so we're going to have Scott join us now. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Hey, great. How are you, Tejas?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to see you, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
We're really, really pumped to have Canva on. As you all know, we had a big announcement at Wakelet Live with Canva, and can't wait to hear what Scott has in store for us.
I am super pumped. So quick shout out to Canva and the Wakelet community. I started using Canva about 5 years ago, started using Wakelet about 3.5 years ago. So I'm super pumped to be able to share how these two great companies are coming together throwing down the gauntlet to say, hey, let's work together. Let's be better together, not only for ourselves, but for educators. And real quick, a little bit about me. I'm a former ELA educator turned tech coach and now district engagement advocate with Canva. Here's a quick overview of what I'm going to cover today. Just what is Canva for education? We're offering more and more. It's almost easier to say what we don't offer and how to get started. So whether you're a beginner, an intermediate user, or you're going off the rails like myself with Canva because you are so in love, we've got a little something for everyone. And then we're going to talk about that Canva and Wakelet integration where we're working to be better together for all of you out there. And then I'm going to share a quick note on how to join the amazing Canva community. I know you already know about this great Wakelet community. Come on down to ours as well. There's plenty of room for everyone. So what's Canva for education? Well, I'm going to keep it simple for sake of time, but Canva is a simple yet powerful design and communications tool. I love to say that if you can dream it, you can create it in Canva. And you don't need to be a graphic design pro to look like one. That's the beauty of it. It's so simple, intuitive, yet so powerful. And best of all, guess what? It's free. So you get Canva, you get Canva, you get Canva, so long as you are part of a K-12 school. So that includes staff, students, teachers. If you work for a K-12 school, come on down and get Canva for education because it's free. And our founders have publicly committed to keeping it free forever. And you know what? It's even in my contract. So I am so sure that it's staying around and I love it. So Wakelet's free, we're free, better together once again. And if you need some ideas, these are just some of the ideas specifically for educators. We have over 60,000 education specific templates for you to use, modify. If you want to start from scratch, you can do that too. Or if you're like me, start with the template, put your personalized touches on it, and then go off the rails with Canva. And again, it's 100% free. So try it today. Make sure you sign up. We're going to show you how to do that right now. Right now, take a moment, head over to a separate tab if you're on an appropriate device. And you know what? Canva's device agnostic. So whether you're on mobile, iPads, your Chromebooks, or desktop, or some other device, log into canva.com/edu-signup. And then go ahead and sign up now. Follow the prompts there. Let us know if you're an educator, if you're a school, and then you'll be guided through that process. Now, here's the juiciest part, right? You're hungry. You've been waiting for it. What is this whole partnership about with Canva for Education and Wakelet? Wait no longer. We have amazing templates right here, 30 templates ready to go for your Wakelet collections. We have these headers. Just go to canva.com once you've created an account and search Wakelet. And I'm giving you a pro tip right here. When you type that in, look what pops up. You get a little Wakelet icon. That's a Canva pro tip. Whenever you see an icon like that pop up and jump out at you like that, that lets you know that this is a curated collection just for you. So it's a little extra special. And so that's one of the many pro tips on how to use Canva and Wakelet together. But that's not all, folks. Here is the big piece. So once you're in a Wakelet collection, all you need to do is head over to where you select your images, and you can select that Design with Canva option and then work from within Canva there. Pull those designs, bring them in, and let's say you you have something already created within Canva, you can just paste that link in there like you might do a traditional resource. I do that a lot with my Twitter chats, Twitter posts. You could still do that too, but now it can integrate directly. And here's a pro tip for you. You see on that left side in the design tab right there in Wakelet, down there at the bottom where I've circled design with Canva, you can also choose your cover image right there. So start designing, tag me, Scott Nunes at Mr. Nunes Teach. Also tag Canva and tag Wakelet so we can see all the great things that you are doing, and especially if you're using it with students. We want to see how students are taking it to the next level, going not just with the 4 C's, but with the 5th C, right? Curation. The first time I heard that was from Wakelet. We're all about that too over at Canva. So here are some other ways to use Canva and Wakelet together. You can use it to organize reading or class lists. You can create like a video list. When I was in the ELA classroom, I used it for research and had my students curate content for their Shakespearean research project. So one group would do Shakespearean fashion, another one would do Shakespearean weaponry, another one would do Shakespearean innovations, another one would talk about Shakespearean society, like the different classes and ranks, and where everybody kind of like lined up. And this was great. Then we could slap those collections in a mega collection. So you can do that within Wakelet and Canva as well. You can even curate your Wakelet collections, bring them over as a link using our embed tool right in the Canva. So it's up to you. Let us know how you're app smashing these two. I know we have some super creative folks like Sean and Priscilla watching live right now. I'm calling you two out because I want you to showcase how we can go off the rails. And speaking of being better together and developing an amazing community together, we want to showcase Asa Selenius Carlson and how she has brought the power of Canva and Wakelet to be better together, to make something just extraordinarily beautiful. It's simple, it's intuitive, and it works. And you don't have to be a pro to look like a pro. That's the best thing, and anybody can do it. You can also showcase digital portfolios, right? As you're kind of going up through the grades, or maybe getting ready to ship off to the secondary level, or maybe off to the university. You can take all of that work, all of your Wakelet collections, put some nice Canva headers on there, maybe some Canva links to other work you've done, and then take that with you wherever you go. You can also do group work, collaborations. This is an example of a group science report. So each person in the group can start curating, collecting, analyzing, commenting. Really, if you can dream it, you can do it. One last thing. If you've already created something, feel free to bring it right back into Wakelet. Like if you've created it in Canva, you can bring it right into Wakelet. And it's not that hard. Just grab the share link and bring it in. And thank you all so much. Thank you, Wakelet. I sincerely appreciate everyone that has made it today, and have a great Wakelet community week.
Thank you so much, Scott. That was truly inspiring to see, especially our newest integration and everything it has to offer. I'm sure the education community is going to come up with some really innovative ways to use our two platforms together. So yeah, really, really excited for this. I also just want to invite all of the remaining speakers on screen to just say a big thank you from the whole Wakelet team. We really, really appreciate all the time that you've taken to come join us today. And on top of that, all of the time that you've given us to develop these partnerships and the integrations that then serve the education community. So thank you once again from the whole team to all of you here and your teams. And yeah, hopefully we'll do many of these in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
And for everyone else, who are on the chat now and viewing, we just have a few housekeeping tasks before we sign off. If you want to take part in the Community Week competition, please share your highlights from this session using the hashtag Wakelet Community Week, and you will then be entered into the competition to win some very cool prizes. So I hope to see all of your names pop up on Twitter. And you can also fill out the form that will be shared in the chat shortly to receive your certificates. Thank you once again for joining us today, and yeah, we'll see you for the next session tomorrow. Thank you.